Hello, the Guardians, Ghosts, and Gamers. Give me a second. Sorry for the tutting. Because I am feeling a little bit sassy right now. Define anxiety.
Here's the definition of anxiety: a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome.
Yeah, Google says it best. And that's kind of what we're going to chat a little bit about today is anxiety. Um, there's a lot going on in the game right now. I know it seems kind of superficial, topical, or silly to actually be associating what it can be a debilitating condition for many people. I actually do suffer from bouts of anxiety myself. I've been dealing with it pretty much all my life. This is not a flex or sympathy grab or anything else, but this is me sharing a perspective, a lens, if you will, of what I do to manage it. Because anxiety is not something you can cure, but it is something you can manage. Recently, I've been adopting a philosophy of, well, I've actually always had this thought that limitations aren't there to hold you back, and they're not there uh, to make you feel bad. They're there to give you a challenge, and if you can go beyond your limitations, that's great. But if you can't, intellectually, emotionally, physically, cannot get past this limitation, instead of fighting it, try working with it. Try seeing how it can be a benefit to you. What can you do with this limitation that other people wouldn't think about doing? You know, as I've gotten older, my eyesight, as would want for older gentlemen, starts to, fail. I'm farsighted, and anthropologists have recently discovered that most men are farsighted because we were the hunter types, the defenders, and watching the horizon, and we're prone to recognizing motion faster. Um, and most women are nearsighted because they were the gatherers. Also, that women have a higher color sensitivity than men do. We were more we can discern earth tones, the subtleties between earth tones, um, browns, grays, things like that. A lot better greens. Believe it or not, green is an earth tone. Surprise, right? Color theory. Yay! Who thought you came here to watch a Destiny video? And a guy talk about anxiety in a game. Um, but yeah, so men can actually discern these different colors a bit, better, and women are more attuned to things like reds and oranges and yellows, purples, pinks, greens, and they see color, um, you know, based upon these studies, of course. Um, and it's curious because you put the two together, you've got this team. That's kind of what it's all about. And in this game, Destiny, which is a very team-driven game, there's a lot of anxiety. When I first started playing Destiny on Destiny 1, it was the first time I ever played an internet game where there were strangers virtually shoulder to shoulder with me. And I felt that same social awkwardness, that same anxiety that I would feel the first day of every school year. And I felt all the way up until I finally managed to get through my AA. Thank you to my wife for identifying this limitation and then helping me get past it. Sometimes you got to have help. A lot of times you got to have help. Help is good. And and it's like so I'm in the zone, the patrol zone of Venus, and I happen to cross the Vault of Glass's entrance, and there's a bunch of people out there trying to open the vault. I didn't know anything about the raid. All I saw was these different groups of people standing, and things would happen, and enemies would show up. I was like, oh, I don't want to deal with that, because at the time I was really, really concerned about how many times my character died, because I had been playing in single player games where character death meant restarting the level. all the way, from the beginning. And so I was like, I was still in that mode, even though I knew that your ghost was going to res your character, and that popping in the patrol zone didn't mean getting kicked to orbit or anything like that, or going back to the tower or the title screens. Uh, it's still something that's in the memory, it's still there. Ooh, it's a team game, team bounty. I like this one. Guardians and Gambit. Okay, so anybody can do that. That's good. See, we need more of these. We need more team bounties. Um, you see, as a fire team bank, this is ridiculous. Defeat combatants with finishes and final blows. Okay, that's specific. That's something you really can't do as a team fight, and it's not hard to do. Summoning primevals, you got to do that as a team. If you're not doing this, you're not going to get this. And if you're not doing this, then you're going to be prevented from completing this. Well, actually, you just summon primevals. You don't even have to kill them. So, there. I'm trying to get to a point here with under 10 minutes. But anyway, as I've been harping for like the last dozen or so videos, games are supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be a way for you to get away from anxiety. They're not supposed to cause you anxiety. And there seems to be a lot of anxiety in the game right now, mostly over trials. Some of us are feeling pretty anxious about crossplay because it doesn't seem like the connection is really working very well, because we're still running on a 1990s engine with peer-to-peer networking, which means that my connection is affected directly by whomever I'm lobbying with. And if they're not on the same continent as me, I can guarantee you neither one of us are having a good time. So like I said, I was at Venus and I got this message. In PlayStation at the time, there is no in-game direct messaging, of course, in Destiny. That's for being declared as an MMORPG recently. They still haven't added the most basic of functionalities for MMOs, which is in-game text chat with moderation and direct PMing or DMing as a direct messaging. So this person sends me a note. It says, "Hey, we need somebody to help us with the Vault of Glass. All you have to do is not die." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm really good at that." And at first it took me all of 30 seconds to make the choice. And I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll help. Just tell me where to be and what to do. And I don't have really good guns." And the guy was like, "Don't worry about it. You just got to be on headset." And then I was like, "Oh, well, this is a new level. Not only am I going to be playing with complete strangers in an event that I have no familiarity with, but now I'm going to be talking with them." And immediately I was 8 years old again, and first day of school, and it was like they were so supportive. They were so supportive. They were the persons that I spoke with. They were like, "Hey, we understand this is your first time playing an internet game, right? An online game." I go, "Yeah." And they're like, "Okay, don't worry about it. We're going to probably tease you about it, but don't worry about it. It's all in good humor." And I was like, this is awesome. This is immediately all my anxiety, all my social awkwardness, all of my concerns over my image completely faded away, and I did my job. I didn't die. And we beat the fuck out of Atheon, and I got a Vex Mythoclast. No, I didn't. I'm lying. No, actually, I got some pretty good loot. I got, I got the shader, and I think I got the scout rifle, Time Worn's Fire. Is that what it's called? No, Praetus Timepiece. I think that's what it was. And I got hooked. And I was like, "Yeah, if you guys are going to do this again next time, hit me up." And they did. And I was like, immediately, all that anxiety that I had about playing an online game with complete strangers and going out to LFG and everything like that, completely gone. And then Destiny 2 happened. And by this time, Destiny's been around enough that, people who used to play other games have long since been playing Destiny as well as their fallback or their alt game. And it showed, because I could immediately sense the sense and direction when it came to people. Now, yes, back in Destiny 1, there was a lot of, you must have the Gjallarhorn, or you must be this light level, because we used light levels then, or you must, oh, I don't have any power ammo, because it's a PvP mode. You must have blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, those, they at least they're upfront, forward about it in their post for the LFG, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not playing with them. And so I would deliberately, look for the casual groups, and they would say, doing a casual run, not go blah, farming this checkpoint. Have multiple characters, please offer to hold the checkpoint while we swap ours. And I was like, this is cool. So yeah, there were some hardcore pushy people, there were some toxics, but they're like one out of maybe 100 experiences. 1%, of my experiences in Destiny 1 involved. Not so much in Destiny 2. It seemed like there was a whole lot more anxiety here. There was a lot of pressure. There was a lot of, I need to put out, I need to present. And honestly, I'm okay with pushing yourself and wanting the best out of yourself and your team, but you should also want the best out of your game. And let's be honest, Destiny 2 is not its best. It's not the best Destiny. It has been a disappointment for many of us, and this is coming across as anxiety now. And yeah, I think that's why, after about the third time I've vaporized a player in PvP, they come back and they teabag me, even though they weren't the ones who got the final blow. I don't care. I mean, if it helps you get past it, then yeah, fine. I don't mind. It's a game. You're welcome to perform however you wish, however way you wish to. I stumbled over that a lot because I don't really believe it. I don't set that standard for myself. I accept that standard from others, but I do not set that standard for myself. And that's the main key here. You need to set a standard for yourself and adhere to it regardless of what happens. Don't let yourself get drawn in by anxiety. Don't let yourself be taken down by somebody else's anxiety. Be supportive, be helpful. Understand that, try to figure out what it is that they're stressing. If it's obvious they're struggling with the content, hit them up and says, hey man, I'm willing to help. I know this content really well. Is there anything I could do to give you some advice or walk you through some builds or maybe some mechanics? Be that community again. Man, I miss that D1 community so much. And I think it would be great if we could try to work together to make that come to pass again. Especially now that Witch Queen is coming. We only have 2 more years of this particular saga. Nobody really knows what the so-called future of Bungie's gaming is going to be. But, I think we'll get there. I believe in us. Or like Mystery Man, I believe in the abilities of my teammates. Say it with some conviction. Have some standards. Adhere to those standards. Don't be a bitch about it, though. Realize that other people are going to have different perspectives on the game and content. So what if I'm the only one running around with Malfeasance in the middle of a Gambit match? Not many people realize how powerful Malfeasance is, or if it's really worth the, the struggle to go ahead and get the... Ooh, wow, whatever, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Sorry this went over my 10-minute target, but I hope you get the point here. It's the holidays. Relax. Try to relax at least. Try to have fun. Don't forget, the game is an escape, not just for you, but for everybody else. And try to make that space happy for everyone. Thanks for stopping by.